Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for taking some time for us. We're at about 1 minute till the top of the hour, so I'll give all the other non-Gold Star students a minute or two to get signed in. But really appreciate you joining us this afternoon. We may have a couple other folks from our team joining us. Oh, speak of the best one now, Annalise, welcome.
Hello, folks.
So I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Awesome. Yep. My name's Annalise. I work in partnership success here at MGT Insurance. And what I do is I help agents get policies bound. So whether it's quoting, getting something to a bind state, or if you have any questions, I'm your gal. I'm here to help you guys get things bound and here to really push MGT and our company forward.
That's right. Annalise is a amazing resource and a great advocate for our agents too. So make sure to reach out to her with any complaints, and I'll be happy to help handle all the good stuff. No, just kidding. So we'll talk a little bit today about MGT, who we are, what we do. We'll run through a quick demo of the platform, and then we'll share some recent wins and some contact information so you know how to get in touch with the team that's here to support you. So let me go ahead now. I will share my screen. And thank you again, everybody, for taking some time for us. Really excited to share a little bit more about MGT with you. So, MGT, we like to say that we are the first neo insurer. And what does that mean? Uh, Many people don't know, and that's just what happens when you're the first to do something. But you can kind of think of us in context of the larger industry. You have your traditional, your legacy insurance carriers, and these are great companies. I mean, they've been helping keep the global economy moving for sometimes 400 years. Um, but as they've grown, as they've evolved over the years, their primary goal has not always been to make things fast and easy and delightful. You have had over the last 20, maybe 30 years, insure techs starting to pop up. These companies tend to be MGAs, wholesalers, fronting companies, MGUs. There are a variety of different arrangements, but essentially they put a nice layer of technology on top of that traditional legacy carrier experience. When it's great, it's great, but often they don't really control the full process. And so once you kind of stray off of what you might call the happy path, things can get pretty tough. That's where MGT comes in. We're a carrier rated A minus by AM Best. We stand behind the risks that we underwrite through our platform. And because we're the carrier, we control the entire process from setting the rates and the appetite to the underwriting to adjusting the claims that come up. And because of that, we can make sure that we're delivering a great experience to you and to our policyholders the entire way. Now, some quick facts about MGT. As I mentioned, we have an excellent financial strength rating from AM Best. We are writing our policies on 100% ISO forms. And what that means is those are the most legally tested forms on the market. Anytime a designation class or a licensing test references policy language, good bet it's the ISO language. And so you can feel confident that these policies will respond the way you would expect them to if there ever is a claim. As you are working with us, you will see and you will love that we are a 100% digital experience. There's no accords, no supplemental applications. I think I just heard a shout of joy from one of our listeners. When you're working with us, it's all online, and we'll show you in just a few minutes how easy that is. We collect 100% of the underwriting information that we need. And what that leads to is incredible speed that makes you look like a rock star. Over 80% of our policies through our new platform have actually gone from logging in to start the quote to bound and issued in 3 minutes or less. All quotes through that platform are fully bindable, and you'll only ever see options for limits and deductibles and sublimits that are also bindable. We have a pretty wide footprint as well. Today, we're admitted in 44 states and Washington, D.C., and we hope to be growing and expanding soon, so stay tuned. Now, a couple quick facts here. You can see these all on your screen, but the one that I really like to highlight and to celebrate is that in the fourth quarter last year, we had 100% uptime. That means we're a stable and reliable partner. Anytime that an agent or a policyholder needed to access our platform to quote, bind, issue, service, renew, pay for, or file a claim on a policy, it was fully operational and ready to go. Now, let's talk appetite. We are writing over 300 classes of business. And in general, these would fall into that description of, mom and pop small business. We recently added some appetite for artisan contractors. We're also a great fit for professional and medical offices. We do a lot of retail store classes, wholesalers and distributors. We'll write your beauty parlors, barbershops, nail salons, bakeries, grocery stores, convenience stores, restaurants, all those small businesses in your neighborhood that just keep the local economy moving. Those are the types of business that we want to help you protect. We will write up to 3 million in revenue, up to 5 million revenue for office risks, 1 to 100 employees. We will do up to 35,000 square feet per location. We can write up to 2 million total insured value per location with up to 4 locations per policy. We are able to handle new ventures, businesses with no prior coverage, coverage lapses, claims history, as well. So don't feel like you can only send us the most perfect, beautiful, neat, tidy risk any underwriter's ever seen. We'll take those too. Don't hesitate to send those our way. But if it's a little hairier than that, you can still find an easy fit with MGT. So we'll talk quickly about some of the coverage enhancements, sublimits that are available to you. I will go through this whole list. You can all read what's on the page here, but I will highlight for classes that typically need liquor liability. We are able to offer liquor liability in most states. We also are able to include professional liability for many risks. We do not write it for the medical professional office risks that we write, but we can write professional liability for barbershops, beauty parlors, nail salons, photographers, and a few other classes. Hired non-owned auto is also available for most risks, including restaurants that don't do any self-delivery, and also including contractors. We do have some optional coverages and sublimits that are available as well. These can be very helpful. The damage to premises rented to you, often required by landlords. We could do up to 1 million on an instant quote basis. Spoilage and food contamination can be very beneficial for certain types of businesses as well. So, a lot of times when I talk about our coverage, I still myself fall into the trap of saying we just write BOPs. But we do write more than just the BOP. We can add on a lot of bells and whistles to really tailor that coverage for what that business owner needs. Let me see here. I see a couple questions in the chat. So we'll just take a couple questions from the chat real quick. Stephanie asks, are contractor class available in all states? Yes, contractors are available in all states MGT is admitted. Christina asks, are you writing any habitational? Not at the moment, we are not, but stay tuned because I would bet sometime between June and September, we may open up some appetite for lesser's risk. Megan asked if liquor liability is available in Alabama. Unfortunately, not. I do know there have been some legal changes there, so that could change, but at least right now, liquor liability is not available in Alabama. Great question, though. So, for anyone else watching along the way, if you have any questions, please feel welcome to ask those in the chat. And we can pause and answer those as we go. And then as we wrap up too, we'll go back and make sure we didn't miss anything. So with restaurants, that's a great class of business for us. And we do have some coverage enhancements available. Always like to highlight the contamination and spoilage. They can get increased limits for that. Then if they're doing any valet operations, we can include coverage for damage to customer autos as well. Contractors also have got some coverage enhancements available. We could add some coverage for tools and equipment, installation, hired non-owned auto is available for contractors as well. So definitely would encourage you to submit those to us as you're able to. And now let's take a look at how everything works. So before I jump into the actual platform, though, I always like to start out on our website and check out the BOP Appetite tab. Now, if you're following along on your screen, go ahead and bookmark this. That way you can stay up to date with our appetite as it grows. We have got a lot of big plans this year. There's going to be so many good things coming. By 2027, we're going to look like a completely different company. And so to stay up to date with us as that happens, make sure you bookmark this page. You can see all the states that we're admitted to do business in here. The light blue states are coming soon. Maybe one or two of them are coming very soon. And then you can also scroll down and communicate with our AI appetite assistant, Amy. Amy was built to help you with all those appetite questions that come up. She's available for you 24/7, 365, and she can give you a lot of guidance and also just quick answers on those, can you write a, let's say, smoothie shop in Boulder? So as we ask that, Amy's going to parse through that question. She's able to know that smoothie shop, even though that's not like the name of a class of business, is something that fits with us. She knows that Boulder is the city in Colorado, and she can give you some quick guidance about that. Christina asks, is there an ETA on when you'll be writing in California? Now, I can never make promises about California's Department of Insurance, but hopefully very soon. So, communicate with Amy if you have those quick appetite questions. And also feel welcome to reach out to me or to Annalise with those questions as well. And we're happy to help too. Now, to get started, just click sign in. Now, right now, we're actually transitioning to a new platform. So you'll see this pop up. Just click sign in on the left-hand side here for small commercial. And then that will take you into our brand new quoting platform. So this may be new for some of you on the call. If you haven't seen this before, go to mgtinsurance.app. That's .app. Click the forgot password button that first time. That'll email you a password reset link. Set your password there, and then you'll be logged in. You'll have access to this as well. So when you start out, it'll actually start you on the home page. There's a lot of good stuff you can do here. It's very easy to add new folks to your team. Just click user management and then follow the prompts. You can also go to that appetite page. And then if you click start a quote, that's where the magic happens. So I always like to have something in my back pocket. There's a golden rule if you're someone who does a lot of demos like this. It's stick to the script. You really never want to go off the path, but I actually think this technology is so cool to see in action. I'm going to break my golden rule. I'm going to invite you all in the chat to shout out maybe a restaurant that you like going to, maybe your favorite barber, your favorite nail salon that cuts your hair, maybe a real estate agent who sends you leads. Feel welcome to share a real business, and we can run through a quote so you can really see this platform in action. All right. Well, I'm going to use, for me, I'm out in, oh, let's see, we got White Pie in City Park. All right. Let's see what we can do. White Pie. Looks like that's in Denver. And so we'll click continue. And what is going to happen here is behind the scenes, we're contacting dozens of different data vendors. We're pulling somewhere around 3,900 different data points on White Pie. And that's going to help us pre-fill a lot of the application. So it can tell that's a pizza shop or pizzeria. We're going to select business owner's policy here, and then we'll click continue. And it's going to start building that quote. So it's putting everything together, it's qualifying that information, double checking, maybe triple checking. And you'll see as it loads, it's pretty quick. We can watch the Aurora as we go. Um, and in just a moment, this should be populated for us. So this is, while it loads, I'll just share. This is really kind of the heart of MGT and who we are and what we want to do. Uh, as it's pulling all that information, it's making that available to our underwriters so that they don't have to go searching all these different sources to find it. And ultimately, that just makes their job easier so that they can focus on those tougher accounts that come their way that need and deserve a little bit more of their mental bandwidth, and it's giving them some time back to focus on that. That's really what we want to do for you too, is we want to make the things that should be easy just actually really easy, so that you can knock them out and then move on to that next one. Keep those relationships happy, keep those referral sources happy, and not have to spend all day working on small business accounts. So as we go through this, the first couple questions are going to be pretty much the same no matter what you're submitting. Have there been any claims? Do we need to cover any buildings? We'll just click continue here. And then in the next page, we have the pizza shop or pizzeria classification. That's right on target for this risk. If it doesn't look right to you, though, you're never locked in to what the algorithms are saying it should be. And you can click this and you can go in and select a lot of different types of classes to best describe that business. So we'll click continue. And now you can start to see all these questions are pre-filling for us. But, again, trust but verify as you go through, make sure this all looks correct. If something does seem off, maybe we know that they actually do not have table service or employee wait staff. We can always change that. You're not locked into what the algorithm thinks. Then we'll click continue. Again, it's finding some more information about that business, and it's finding 20 employees, but let's just say we know that business very well and it's 8. We can change that. We'll click continue. It's finding the gross sales. We'll click continue. And now we're in the business location section. In this section, you can add additional insureds. To do that, just select add an additional insured, select the type, enter in their information, answer a couple underwriting questions just to confirm everything lines up. And then if you need to add multiple types of additional insureds, you can do that as well. Always like to recommend doing this ahead of time if you're able to, just to make sure that everything that you get from that quote is fully accurate. And if you click that button one too many times, just click the little delete button here to remove it. Now, Christina asks, are your policies auditable? Yes, they are. That's a great question. So in this section, we'll enter in some building information. For this one, we can run it through as contents only. We can do contents and building coverage, though, in most areas. There are some restrictions in coastal zones that probably wouldn't be surprising to anybody, but we will write BPP right up to the coastline with no wind hail deductible. So it is actually doing some research there. Took just a minute to fill that out. But you can see here it was able to find the square footage. We will say that all looks correct. And then it's quoting it with 100,000 BPP. Let's update that to 125. And then we'll click continue. If we need to edit any of that location information, you can do that here. We'll click continue a couple more times. We will keep the TRIA coverage on and then continue. And now while it loads our quote, Christina has a very, very good question is how are you addressing wildfire zones? That's one type of risk we really do underwrite on a case by case basis. We will accept high fire risk area accounts, but we do want to see that they have, some fire protection features in place, defensible space, access to water sources, things like that. And, the reason that we are able to handle a high volume of quotes and also take a case by case look at some of the tougher ones goes back to the way we work. So we got an instant quote back on this risk. You can see the premium here. You can see the effective date. Always make sure to check this before you go into bind. The way the system works is it quotes out to when that quote would expire. So make sure you're binding with the correct effective date. And then as we scroll down, I'm sure everybody on this call has seen pages that look like this a million times, so we won't spend too much time here. We'll just highlight some of these restaurant coverages are available, and you can always update these as you go along. And then if you scroll down to the very bottom, this is where you can add some other coverages like increasing those damage to premises rented to you limits, add some EPLI, employee benefits liability, add the higher non-owned auto. It's just a click of a button. And then as you start to make those updates, you'll see an updated premium here as you go along. And then to lock in those updates, just click the update quote button. And so once that updates for us in just a second here, we'll walk through what the payment process looks like. If you ever need to make any changes, you can click the edit quote button. And if you just want to download a copy of this to save for your records or to send over as a proposal, you can use the download quote button. Once we click continue to bind, then we'll start to put in some policyholder information. This will send them a email with the quote letter, instructions on how to make payment, complete the e-signing process. So we try to make it easy there. So I will just put in a couple pieces of info here and then confirm and send. Now this is pretty fast. I should actually have this in my inbox probably within the next minute or so. But, sometimes emails, I actually have it in my inbox already. Sometimes emails just get lost in cyberspace. Sometimes you might be working with someone who needs that little extra bit of assistance. If you click copy share link, then I will open a new tab and paste that in. But you could copy that share link. You could email it over from your email address. You could open a new tab just like this and help them out. And this is what that payment process is going to look like. Just select annual, quarterly, or monthly. Click continue. The next step is to e-sign this information. So this is getting everything loaded up for us. It should take just a second or two. And so now we will do the e-signing, give it a nice squiggle, agree. And then you can click start signing and you can go through line by line and review every page, or you can click sign all, just knock everything out in one shot. Now, once those documents are all signed, they'll be available for you in the platform as well. So we all have a record of the mutually signed documents. Now, while that's getting loaded up, then next it should take me into the payment page.
And we just have a question, Dan, on whether how we handle changes once a policy has been bound or issued. So I can take that one. Right now, folks, we are moving towards an area where those changes can be handled within the platform. But as we grow, we're taking those requests directly from our support team and making those changes. So this is a new platform. We are looking to advance it in the sense where we have more controls for those changes. But as of right now, if anything needs to be changed to a policy, you can get in contact with Dan or I or our support team, and we'll handle those individually.
Yeah. So I am in our demo system, and every once in a while it likes to do this and just kind of sends me in a loop here. This is only for the demo system though. Our like main platform is fully operational. But once you get through the e-signing part, payment's super straightforward. We accept credit, debit, or ACH. And if you do either of any of those, all you have to do is put in the payment information, uh, click the submit button, and then as soon as that goes through, you'll get taken to a new page that shows you the invoice number, and then that policy gets bound and issued. Now, as you're working with us, you're sending out those links, you might find you're not always completely sure what's going on with those, but you can see in our portal, these boxes will update as we go through the process. So in this case, we can see that it's been sent, it's been opened and signed, but somehow that payment hasn't gone through because the policy docs aren't available for issuance just yet. So that might save you a couple phone calls or a little back and forth, or maybe prompt you to reach out to that applicant and see what's going on. And if you ever have any questions or need anything, really, if you get to this point, but anywhere else along the process too, please feel welcome to reach out to myself or to Annalise, and we'll be happy to help you.
We got another question, Dan. Is there any flexibility on pricing through underwriting?
Generally, we try to kind of stick to our rates. We want to make sure that we're charging rates that are sufficient, not, undercutting the market, which then might lead us to have to go back and raise rates for everybody later. But we can take a case by case look at accounts, and if there's something to justify some flexibility there, we can work with you on that as those come up.
And folks,
But that's a great question.
if you're seeing things with pricing, if you're quoting us against a couple others and you're seeing our pricing is way out in left field, please give that feedback to us. As we grow, we
Mhm.
want to make sure that we do have rates in the right area. So if you're seeing that we're consistently missing the mark, share that feedback with us because we want the opportunity to improve.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to build the best insurance company in the world, and we know it's not going to happen if we're just sitting in a vacuum. So all that feedback you have for us is super, super valuable. So let's go back to the slide deck here. And then just to share a couple of their recent wins we've seen. These are some great accounts. We did an electronics retailer in Texas, 15,000 in BPP, $750 policy, and they had been non-renewed by the incumbent. We were able to get coverage quoted and bound for them in less than 10 minutes. We had a convenience store in South Carolina, 1 million, 2 million GL limits, 75,000 BPP, 3,500 in premium. And they were able to save significantly over the incumbent carrier. And it took them 6 minutes to go through the entire process. We had a seafood restaurant in Georgia, 1 mil, 2 mil GL, liquor liability, 250,000 BPP, about $1 million total in property with the building added in, less than $15,000 in premium. They also tailored in some of those sublimits we looked at, things like the employment practices liability. They increased cyber limits, added some other sublimits to really enhance that policy because they were already saving. So it turned it into a different conversation of, you're saving and getting better coverage. And, when do you ever get more for less these days? Um, So this is maybe the most important slide in this whole deck. So I will leave this up for a few minutes in case you want to copy any of this information down. But you have a whole team here at MGT that's here to support you. And please feel welcome to reach out to us. We love working with agents. I can say for myself, and I think, yeah, I can speak for the rest of the team here, but this 30-minute session during the day, this is always, one of our favorite times. This is where we really get to interact directly with the agents who are most engaged, most want to work with MGT, want to learn about the system, and us as a company, we could not be happier to work with you. So great question, Christina. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Will this presentation be available or sent to participants? Yes. We are recording it. Once it's available to us, we'll get it uploaded into our YouTube, and then we'll send it out as a follow-up. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button.
Awesome, folks. And before we let you go, I just want to encourage you guys to really use our MGT website. You'll see here that we have the appetite agent, but we also have a chat feature. And in that chat feature, we are still using a lot of technology, but there's humans behind that chat. So if you need to get in contact with us, let's say it's Friday night, we'll get back to it on Monday morning. So don't hesitate to reach out if you're working in the moment. Leave it on our desk and we'll get back to it as soon as we're back in the office.
And that's a really good question, Gregory. Is third party EPLI available for all class codes? I would actually want to double check our policy language before I gave you a firm answer there, but I'll do some digging and I'll reach out to you after this about that. Great question. So, I think it always takes a little bit longer when I'm narrating along the way. Luckily for you all, that feature is not built into the platform. That is something you only get this time of the week. So I would encourage you, jump in there, run some quotes with us. Um, Christina has a question about commission. We'll circle up with you after this. There can be some variance there, so we want to make sure we get you the right answer. Um, but, I would encourage you after this, jump in there, run a couple quotes. I find that when someone is first getting started with us, really even just for myself, when I'm building new habits, the main challenge is just getting over that initial period of building the muscle memory, getting the reps in. And so jump in, run a couple quotes, whether they are, real live, like we're going to bind this if we get it quoted type submissions. Maybe it's just a test quote. Maybe it's some renewals that you've got coming up or just went through. Maybe it's some friends you've got, contacts in the industry you have. Run some quotes, see what you think. We absolutely would love to get your feedback as well. So let us know how we do, good, bad, or indifferent. All that feedback super valuable for us. And so we'll stick around for a few more minutes in case anybody else has any questions. But if there are no more questions, then we'll let you all get back to your day. But thank you again for taking some time for us. We really do appreciate you joining us this afternoon.